along with Mike Mayock, Scott Graham, and down on the field, the third member of our crew. Probably last saw him with a microphone in front of the Art Museum, Dave Spadaro. Dave?
Yeah, thank you very much, Scott. Mike, a couple things to watch here as the Eagles begin the game on defense. Jordan Hicks at middle linebacker. He missed most of last season. He's back in the middle. And then for the Eagles on defense at cornerback, the battle for the nickel job. Will it be Sidney Jones, who basically had a redshirt season last year? A lot of competition there. Back to you guys.
Hey, Spots,
so I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I'll just try to be quiet so that you can watch, because I am a bit ahead of you.
Yeah. I just remember last year when it was like, I made sure to put in the screen that it was just like that it's like I'm not this isn't like the game. I'm not watching, like I'm not showing the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Hella people got so mad about that.
And there's an example. That's kicked high and short on purpose.
Anderson's going to take it from just inside his end zone. A great coverage downfield. Only got it outside the 15-yard line after a 16-yard return. Sidney Jones makes the first play defensively.
Love that.
Ooh, yes, Sidney Jones.
Yeah, you're far. Yeah, you're like I'm like a player or two ahead.
It's okay.
No, it's fine. I'm just gonna wait till.
Actually, it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't really care what. I just want to see how like the young players do, because none of these guys. Like, look, like they've got Landry Jones playing.
Exactly. I want to see if they're playing Mason Rudolph. They probably will.
I want to play. I want to see that.
Deep back behind him on first down for 16. That is Connor with the handoff, and he's got room, but a flag down on the play. It looks like it might be in the area of holding.
That's holding.
Connor ended up getting himself a good chunk.
It isn't, by the way, just so you know.
What?
Hold your breath.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's on the defense.
No, there wasn't a penalty.
Oh, okay.
Second down.
Oh, nice.
First flag, and it's already picked up. That's good for an 8-yard gain. Eagles defensively, we kind of know what we are going to see. The strength of this team clearly is in the depth of their defensive line, although some different faces this year. As we said, Jordan Hicks is back again. That's important. Bradham, a big year last year. Nathan Gary gets his opportunity now.
Oh, yeah, so Bradham, they have to play him because he's missing week 1.
Starting safety.
Mm-hmm.
On second down, out of the shotgun. Big rush coming.
Boom!
Fletcher Cox.
What a play. Well, I mean, that is the big man, so...
I mean, and he did pretty, you know, I'm pretty sure. The Steelers aren't playing starters, right?
He gets a good get off.
I have no idea who's on their line. Probably not. They're playing Jesse James, 81.
Fletcher Cox.
Okay.
Yeah, big boy. That's a heck of a play.
That's just like I'm not like, I mean, Barnett's playing and then Destiny Vio's playing right next to him, so
he puts Pittsburgh now into a third down at 11.
Michael Bennett in the game, folks, right there.
I'm hoping they go to commercials so that I can see my thoughts on my drive.
It's not going to get much. Fletcher Cox somehow went from rushing the passer to bringing down the ball carrier short of the first down marker.
All right, so why are you a Pro Bowl player? This is why you're a Pro Bowl player. Watch these guys up front, okay? 91, Fletcher Cox, rushing the quarterback. You see him on the left side of the screen. Now, there, he smells it.
That was a smart
laterally
screen.
And forces a punt.
It was.
I
mean,
Scott, that's probably
so far, it was, you know, good on Fletcher Cox showing that, like, I mean, it's the first game still.
He's out. Take a seat, son.
I'm glad that the whole, like, not a stream thing is working.
Receiving punts. We'll talk a little bit about that. From inside his 20.
For now.
He gets it all the way out to the 30-yard line.
For now.
He asked to do this.
He begged.
Remember, Ricky, I'm irrelevant.
Exactly, we're all irrelevant.
Coach Phipps said, "How many did you return in college?" You said,
"We're just numbers."
We're just numbers.
Said it was a good one though. He got about 30 yards out of it.
Nombres.
Last season made his debut against Dallas.
Did you hear that? They said that Dez was avoiding the
24-year-old.
The Browns.
Yeah.
I would too. So it looks like it's Jay Ajayi next to him, with probably most of our starting offensive line. Yeah, Goddard's playing.
What's his number? 88.
88, yeah.
Okay, I just saw him there, so I was like.
Initial handoff is going to be to Jay Ajayi, and he's going to get yardage out across the 33.
Did you see how sour? I think like the Dolphins are hella sour about Jay Ajayi winning the Super Bowl.
Dude, if I was Jay Ajayi, I'd be so
I would be like, okay, so our starting receivers are Matt Collins, Ward, and Greg Ward.
Oh, that was such a bad. Oh, I'm sorry. I should shut up. My bad.
Oh, no worries. And Kamar, Earthshaking, Bacon, Aiken.
Yeah, Nate Sutfield made a pretty bad mistake right there.
Yeah,
okay.
Good job by the running back, Ajayi. A, identifying
he's not our
blitz,
starter, so.
And then B, crossing the face of his
but still, you want to see what you can get out of him, whether it be trade bait or
something. Could have been a little more patient with that because Ajayi did a heck of a job.
No, we keep him.
No, well, you know, with the Cowboys, though, it's kind of like we're trying to see what we got in our quarterback.
He's a big guy.
I mean, he is our third-string quarterback, so.
Yes.
Showed blitz back out of it, a four-man rush. Firing right into
Yeah, that was bad.
That was bad. Like,
that was a bad play.
Like it was going to be an interception.
That was all him. I can't even be pissed off about that either. You know what I'm saying? That's just a bad play. Like, look at this. You have this is a play that you
right back into it.
Yeah, that's a bad play. That's just a ball you have to like get rid of. Get
what an opportunity is it for? But that's a basic defense in the NFL.
I mean, yeah, he did the right thing and get the ball off, but the problem was he forced it into coverage.
Yeah.
Trying to go for the first down.
Over on the sideline, talking to Nick Foles.
Yeah.
All I will say is the defense right now looks pretty solid for Philly, but again,
yeah, backups.
But still, you do good. I mean,
yeah, and I think they're taking. I'd say after this drive, you take the starters out.
Landry Jones feels the pressure coming, and
down he goes again. That's what I saw.
Well, honestly, Jenkins is our starter, and that was a blitz.
Yeah, that's
you know.
I mean, like, see, this is my thing too, right? And I'm not trying to take credit away right now. It's just because you're going up against backups, man.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they're doing good. Like, they have to do good. But it's just, like, you can't take too much of it. Like, oh, my God, they destroyed the Steelers. Well, we don't know how the game can go. So.
Yeah. Well, that's why I don't really take the I take the preseason with like a lot of grain of salt. Just because of the fact that it's basically like pointless. Because I've seen the Eagles win preseason games, and they've done like really crappy during the regular season.
You know, I think you bring up.
Yeah, I just gotta keep an eye on the time. Yeah, probably like if I'm gonna have to head out around 8:30.
He's one of
so my time, so because I had to go somewhere. Dude, you know what's the funny?
When's the Dallas game start?
It starts at 10. But dude, because I told you how I work games, like, bro, I'm gonna get. So they were like, yo, you can get the new Madden because for like $10.
Where?
And he's one of the main leaders.
At my oh, that was such a good play by the Steelers special teams. At my GameStop, bro, because I have two games that I told them I didn't want. So I'm gonna be like, you know what? Might as well review, like, look at it. You know what I mean?
Going to produce points for Pittsburgh as they bring the punting unit out.
You know, Jim Schwartz, when you talk to him about what do you want in a preseason game? You know, what's important to you? How much game planning? And Schwartz, he basically said, look, it's about running the football, tackling, because we don't get enough live tackling and communication. So I want these guys to play fast. We're going to play a lot of man coverage. Everything we do is for evaluation purposes, so we come out of the preseason with the right people.
No, I don't think I have the Giants game. Let me see. Is it on NFL Network? Because I don't have it on.
It's on NFL Network.
Yeah, I don't have NFL Network on my TV, so. Well, my TV.
Downs it.
If I were to go on,
just inside now we'll have to see about the flag after a 43-yard punt.
During the kick, holding receiving team number 29. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Half the distance. That's not even a penalty.
Yeah, that's like. But it's gonna go to pressure by the way, so you can get it. So Hank, so far, what are your impressions so far from some of these players? I know it's the starters, but still.
In all honesty, like I like what I'm seeing from the starters against their backups. If you want to see the game, I will post the link to the game. I'm not showing the game because I don't. Here, go right.
Yeah,
there.
we don't want to get banned.
Go right
like Alex
there.
Jones.
Go to that. Go right there.
Yeah, so I guess for the viewers watching, we're just talking about what we see from the game. We're not going to show you the game. We already say that in the title that we're not showing the game. We're just doing an analysis of it, so
yeah.
Just feel free to stick around for that.
I'm gonna turn this thing on.
What?
The Giants game.
Yeah, I don't know how Saquon's doing, so.
I saw somebody posted something like Saquon Barkley with like googly eyes.
Well, we got 8 people watching. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Wait, guide. What? So guide, we have.
Let me see what's going around on the. There's like 12. There's like 12 teams playing, right? By the way, the game's gonna come back on for you soon.
So 6 games. The Giants have 3 points, so I think Saquon did something.
Let me look.
And Tyrod Taylor just threw a deep pass.
For a touchdown?
No. He threw a deep pass, and then he just got licked.
Yeah, let me see what's going on with statistics-wise. For the
Bud Light.
Saquon has 3 attempts for 37 yards rushing.
Damn. He's going to be so good.
Yeah,
remember when I told DJ he's going to be so good? And he was like, oh, you know, the Giants don't have an offensive line.
Oh, what a play by Ajayi.
And I think Mike Rowe, the offensive coordinator, remember, they lost Frank Reich to the new head coach in Indianapolis.
Luke Davis, here you go. There's another link right there.
Yeah, if you guys can ask, hey, where's the link to the game? We'll send it to you, but we're not gonna
stream it. I'm not doing that.
The other thing to make sure of is.
But, I mean, I said that Saquon Barkley would be good.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good, but I hate to say that.
And people are like, ooh, they don't have an offensive... Yes, they do. They just got Nate Solder. They just got that really good guy from in the second round. They drafted offensive line. They put a lot of emphasis on their line. And people were like, oh, you know.
I think it's going to come down to how Eli plays, because if Eli sucks, the team's going to suck. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
like,
but I doubt that's going to happen, though, with the team. With the weapons that they have no excuses. Like I said, they in the NFC, they are the team that is going to be, in my mind, the most improved football team.
Well, yeah, by default, I mean, it's hard to go 3-13, you know, back to
they have a good chance of going 8-8 or 7-9. Is that Goddard?
Yep.
Oh, Philly.
No, you can't call him Philly. No. That is discrimination.
No. You can't do that.
And the tight end's going this way, but the tight end actually, look at him, comes back.
Yeah, that was a good play. That was like a zone. That was like a zone coverage. They completely lost him.
Nice job.
Yeah, I mean, if the Eagles score on this drive, it's a fantastic, you know.
Yeah.
It's good.
It'll be good if they score, but if they don't score, I mean, it's whatever. Like, because I used to be someone who was like, okay, well, if you win preseason games, then you'll be good. Like, if your starters do well in the preseason, you'll do well in the preseason until, like, there were games where the starters did well in the preseason and they didn't do, like, jack.
Yeah, in the season, yeah.
Yeah, like that 2015 season.
Yeah, I always tell people, like, me personally, I don't mind if a personal player shines, but I don't want the like take value into like, oh, we won all our preseason. Me, honestly, I would rather we lose all the preseason games because what was it?
Same.
New England lost all their preseason games that last year, and they went to the Super Bowl. So.
And Detroit won all their preseason games in 2008, and they went 0-16.
And so did the Browns. The Browns won all their preseason games, and they went.
Also, Seattle won all their preseason games the year they won the Super Bowl.
That is true. So, like, either way, like, it isn't really indicative.
It's not
of,
an indicator of.
Oh, you're gonna.
It's not. Oh, Dallas.
Oof.
That's not an indicator of anything, though. You know.
Honestly, it's because the season can change on the dime. Like, in what was it in 2015? Dallas looked like they were going to be the favorites for the NFC East, and they were started out 2-0, but then everyone got hurt.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley jukes defenders for 39-yard gain on first NFL carry.
If there's a time for that lesson to be learned, this is a good time for
it. Wait, so that means that on his first carry, he got like almost a 40-yard run? Jeez.
And he has less than that, right?
Yeah, so like, yeah, it must have been like a good first run, you know what I mean?
Real quickly, and they drop him back for a loss of 4.
Yeah, they signed Bostic from Indianapolis in the offseason. Remember, they lost Ryan Shazier in one of the most dramatic and awful injuries.
I see what's going on with the Giants.
And there's Ryan tonight. He came out with a crutch, and I talked to now. It's great. I talked to Kevin Gilbert, their GM, Scotty, and he told me that he actually jogs a little bit at their practices and carries a crutch just in public, just in case there's a lot of crowd around. But his work ethic and toughness and discipline is mind-boggling.
Touching story.
Yeah, this drive's going to end in a punt. So.
Yeah. Figured.
Stay on the ground. Ajayi, again, nowhere to go. Closed off for him on the outside. That's going to bring up 4th down.
I mean, look, you can't, like, be too PO'd. Like I know people, like me personally, I always want to make sure to win games because, like, I mean, that's the goal for every game. But with the preseason, I mean, from what I see from Philadelphia and their backups, I mean, they're doing their job. They're doing what they got to do.
Yeah.
I mean, the defensive starters look solid.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I do think that they have to keep Foles.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah, I think they have to.
He's really got to learn directional punting.
Try to pooch that one. Can't get it quite inside the 10, but the Steelers, after a 33-yard kick, will be
also with the Giants, they had the best head coaching hire this offseason.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
well, to be fair, this coaching class wasn't as strong as last year's.
No.
But then again, like, every year someone's bound to get fired, you know what I mean?
I also think Matt Patricia is hugely overrated.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I think he's overrated. But yeah.
Oh, the Giants also have Jonathan Stewart.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And to be honest, I would not be surprised if the Giants went 8-8, 9-7. That's my range. I think I said they're going to go 7-9, 8-8, 9-7. And like, I just think the Redskins are going to just be 6-10. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just because you're in the basement.
But the thing is, you say that every year. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if you say that every year, but I think that possibly every year.
Yeah, like the Redskins are a wild card in the NFC East always. You know what I mean? I got a question. So, Hank, let's say that Wentz doesn't play. He only plays like one preseason game. Do you start him at week 1?
Yeah.
Or no?
He probably won't play a preseason. I don't want him to play any preseason games.
Earlier this week, the Eagles
yeah, you know Tom Heckert died, right?
Did he really?
Yeah, the guy who he used to be like a GM or something.
That's horrible. What? How?
He died of like some heart condition.
That's horrible.
He like
oh my
struggled
God.
with like substance abuse.
Way too young, 51. I mean, between him and Tony Sperano, I don't even know what to say. We've lost.
You never want to see that.
Yeah.
Ever. Especially when it's like even if they said 50, like even if you're 50, I mean still that's pretty young. compared to
And he
but
looked
still.
at me and said, you know, how about Calvin Johnson 4.38 and Paro shoes? You know, he was just
He wasn't
so
a very good
excited and
GM
energized
though.
about talking football.
He really
Right.
wasn't.
Can you imagine you're at his funeral and you're like, well, he was a great man, but he sucked as
He's
a
like,
GM.
well, he sucked.
Out to his family.
I mean, you can't get any worse than trading your whole draft class for a running back that doesn't pan out for you.
Off the handoff just across the 20.
I'm looking at you, Mike Ditka.
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that guy was garbage. I love how people defend him and they're like, "Ooh, you know, he won a Super Bowl." It's like,
it's
no,
like
he
just because you
No, he
want
didn't.
like Jimmy Johnson had a dynasty in Dallas doesn't mean he was a good head coach of Miami. You know,
well,
the Dolphins.
also the thing is that he wasn't really a good head coach. He had what's his face,
Another opportunity.
as
Got a
his
first down and running over a tackler as he gets it out
defensive
across
coordinator.
the 25-yard line under the 27.
Who, Jimmy Johnson?
No,
He ran right through a tackle. You called that correct.
Buddy
Scott. I'm
Ryan.
not sure there was a linebacker.
Oh, Buddy Ryan. Yeah.
I want to see, because remember, there's a linebacker competition. Who missed this tackle
He was a
here?
freaking
I'm not sure which of the
beast.
linebackers. There's a good cut in the hole.
Michael Bennett.
Oh, it's Bosby.
Dude, why hasn't he been suspended yet? I thought he has a warrant out for his arrest or whatever. Or did that get dropped?
It got dropped because it had like there was like no.
Oh, what a play!
It's a different look from last year, no doubt.
That was a pretty bad defensive play from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You'll see.
He had a court case, but like they kept moving the date back.
Number 77, Michael Bennett. I've never met him in my life.
Watch this play, Hank. This is so bad.
From behind, I hear this.
Let's see.
Fletcher Cox. He's got a great motor. He can bend. He's a natural bender. Michael Bennett went on for like 5 minutes. Chris Long came over and joined in, and the two of them gave me a views for a good 10 minutes.
Had to feel good.
He's a character. He does not shut up, Michael Bennett. And look at that. They're going to let him play. Quarterback's unimpeded.
Yeah. And a flat top.
And that's why.
Juju.
That's going to be good enough for a touchdown for Juju Smith-Schuster.
And it stands, so it's like, yeah, that was pretty bad.
Touchdown pass.
I didn't actually see it. I was watching the Giants. Wow, you did an end zone celebration?
Number 98.
No, yeah, I don't know
That's
what
pretty
the
pathetic.
F he was doing. Nah, like, it's gonna show, I don't know if it's gonna show the replay, but still.
Oh, yeah, it
that
is.
was pretty.
It was Rasul.
Rasul Douglas. Now, he gets run by. Now, go get the football.
Yeah, that was
there a little
bad.
bit of a push-off?
This is what I always tell people, like, just because you cause a false start should not be an excuse for you playing bad coverage. Like, you can't be like, well, you know, well, it was a penalty anyway. It's like, no, you idiot.
Yeah.
Like, that's not an excuse to have poor defense.
Watch, some idiot's gonna be like, oh, you know, the Eagles just got scored on.
Eagles are trash.
By our
One year.
by our fourth string or fifth string cornerback. Okay.
I really want to see Mason Rudolph though. Because I'll be honest, man. I think Mason Rudolph is the most underrated quarterback of that draft class. I think he should have, like, honestly, Josh Allen did not deserve to go that high. Like, Mason Rudolph got so overlooked.
No. Alright, hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm gonna be here. I gotta get waffles. A little thing. A little, like, bacon wrap thing. Here, boy. Sit. Sit. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Eli Manning just got sacked.
Oh, he's in his natural habitat now. Oh my god, that's so funny. So apparently on the NFL Network they had the score as 1-0.
For the Giants.
Well, Dallas Goedert thought he reminded people of both Ertz and Travis Kelce. You see him take an inside.
He reminds me a lot of Ertz, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Option inside pitch.
I don't see Kelce in him.
I do. I do because of his size.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, like I could see size-wise, absolutely, but I just think he right now.
How about Zach Ertz? Little stick. There's the nod up the field. Use the big line. Get the defender on your back and finish. Kind of cool to see the two of them together, Scott, and how he might fit into an NFL offense.
Now he's got an opportunity to pull in his first catch, also at his first drop here tonight in his first game. Looking out of South Dakota State. Size-wise, very similar to Zach Ertz. 6'5", 256.
You guys, stupid question. You guys, who's your fourth and string quarterback? Or do you not have one?
Joe Callahan or something like that.
Oh, you have Joe Callahan? Okay. So I envision, like, Sutfeld's going to play, like, the first half or something, and then, like, they're going to bring Callahan for the rest.
We talked about Travis Kelce.
Yeah, maybe the first half.
I bet you neither one of them can do this. This is Dallas Goedert, who is an expert unicyclist.
Wow. That's why you drafted him.
That piece of footage.
Like, that was the only video you needed.
And I said, you get a lot of questions about this kind of thing. And he said,
wait, this might sound stupid, but is that banner outside the stadium, do you know, is that permanent or is that just temporary
Is
for
what?
the year?
Is what?
You know the banner outside the Eagles Stadium where it said, like, Super 52 champions?
How come I never get that? I don't know.
Is that permanent?
I don't know.
Okay, because, like, nah, like, I drove by it, so, like, I was like, so what happens, like, is this permanent? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'll have a banner, but, like, I mean, who knows? Honestly, you can just, it's like, just keep it up. You might as well.
Yeah.
By the way, it's
because you're not going to win another one out playing.
Because you're not going to win
I just made a swear down.
It's also Dallas's apology that his name is indeed Dallas. He was named Dallas because his dad liked the Dallas Cowboys, but it's all behind him. So don't take that into any.
That's like such a curb your enthusiasm moment right there. Like you get drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, and I don't know why people were saying he would have gone to the Cowboys. I don't think he was going to.
David and Njoku just scored a touchdown.
Oh, awesome. Oh, you know what DJ's gonna be like? Oh, Browns undefeated.
Really cool.
Going to the Super Bowl.
He was saying to himself, you know, I know he's saying my name. I wish he could kind of get to the end and just say my name.
How does it feel to get scored on by your old team?
Okay, let's see what happens on this.
Pretty bad. I mean, we're good.
Getting to the outside, breaking a tackle, and Shelton Gibson a good return on the
What
short
the heck
game.
is...
That's going to be the interesting thing, I think, Mike, in the preseason. Is
So who's your, like, do you guys have a number one running back, or is it going to be like a committee?
with no running start.
Probably a committee. Ajayi is our number one running back.
Okay, I didn't know, like, because I assume it was going to be like a committee kind of thing.
He was unimpeded to the 20-yard line. Yep. And by the way, kickoff returns and punt returns are big opportunities. Shelton Gibson took advantage right there. You're going to see Rashard Davis tonight. Can he take advantage? We all know Sproles is the guy, but who's up next?
Sudfeld, who is 1 out of 4 so far. Good looking completion to Goddard. As Eagles out at the 36-yard line. This is Clement sweeping near side.
Clement is fast.
Didn't I say last year this dude was going to surprise people?
I did too. I liked him. I thought he was going to get drafted.
And I think Corey Clement,
And he
actually
didn't get
surprised
drafted. He didn't get drafted because of his behavior.
He wasn't sure if he was going to make the next practice. He's an undrafted.
But you got Donnell Pumphrey. Oh, wait.
We got to know.
I'll be honest, man. Like, if you drafted Clement over him, you know, people would be talking about how, like, that was, like, a steal.
EDP would be crying.
He'd be like, you mean to tell me if we drafted Clement? Man, we still could have had Joe Mixon.
Are you telling me that we didn't draft Joe Mixon or Donnell Pumphrey?
Brian, it's the 6th round. It's too late. But, like, think about it, though. Like, you honestly didn't need Joe Mixon, and especially, like, that's a whole locker. Like, and I'm not trying to, you know, but, like, that's the past now, you know what I mean?
it's like after the 7th round's over, and he's like, "We're gonna draft Joe Mixon.
We're gonna trade for him. We're gonna trade our whole draft for Joe Mixon."
Okay, whatever you say, Mike Ditka.
Oh snap! Clement just got rocked. But no, like I think that if Joe Mixon came in, I think that the Eagles would have had it the whole locker room concerns. I'm not saying I don't know how Joe Mixon is in the locker room, but you know what I mean. Like with a young quarterback like Wentz, for example, you don't know how that could have affected him. You know what I mean? More pressure. But who knows?
What do you call it? Road trip? Yeah, it was a road trip. He said we probably could have done it somewhere other than the water, but
I'm really impressed with his intelligence and work ethic. I like
Let's
this.
see.
Great kid.
But I will say that Juju Smith-Schuster is a beast. So.
Oh, he is. Honestly, I wanted the Cowboys to pick him up at draft. Like the Steelers took J.J. Watt and Juju Smith-Schuster. Those were 2 players I wanted, and I'm mad because they're actually good.
Linebacker Huguenin, Barrington Huguenin out of Kentucky.
It looks like this. Yeah, it looks like the Eagles are gonna have to punt again.
That's okay.
I mean, it's not bad. It's kind of like you're seeing what you want to see.
We have our third-string quarterback in. It's not a big deal to me.
Yeah, honestly, you're seeing what you want to see. You see that certain players are showing up. Obviously, some other players need to do their job better, but still, it's like.
Eagles are one of the best screen teams in football, but this time Javon Hargrave, their nose tackle, 79, right here. They've got a little twist. Look at him follow the lineman out there. Great job.
I will say one thing. Hargrave. The offensive line is not playing. The starting offensive line is not playing well.
Oh, it's for the Eagles?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree. You know why? Typically, offensive lines take about a couple weeks, especially into the season, before they kind of get into form. That's kind of how the Eagles were last season. Dobbs.
That is true. They were pretty bad.
But and like I said, it's all about momentum too. Like if your team is not doing well, like that's what happened with the Cowboys, right? People were saying their offensive line was overrated. No, their offensive line was fine. It was just the momentum was just gone. So they couldn't get that continue, like how they usually are. But yeah, so Dobbs is like, man, I want to see what's his face, Rudolph.
He's an Australian. He can do
that. I don't care for either team in this matchup, but I really want to see Mason Rudolph.
Oh, who is number 5? Is that Gradkowski? Or no, that's what's his face?
Dobbs. I literally just said it. Yeah. It's Joshua Dobbs from Tennessee.
Dobbs.
Yeah, he was a 5th-round pick or something like that. People thought he was going to be the next Dak Prescott. No, he's not.
Good job by Destiny Bayal that time, the defensive tackle. He had a good camp last year. Remember, Jernigan not back off the non-football injury list yet.
Everyone's complaining. They're like put Rudolph in.
For a number of reasons. You see a lot
Right.
of them, including.
But yeah, man, later tonight I had to go to a midnight release. For Matt, like I said, man, I'm only gonna get the game for $10-20.
That's pretty good.
So-
That's
so
probably what it's worth, honestly.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you told me, hey, I want you to pay $60, no. But I still think Madden's not great. But if you told me, hey, you can get it for $10-20, fine.
Yeah.
Fine with me. Oh, I gotta tell you the story about where this was funny. So, this guy, he wanted to buy a console, I guess an Xbox. So he tells me, okay, I want this one. Okay, I come out and he's like, can I see it? Sure. Opens it up. Keep in mind that these are already sealed, so I had to reopen and then reclose them and then tape them.
Yeah.
There's I don't like. He literally said, I don't like the controller with this one, so I want another one. Okay, not a problem, man. Goes in the back, tapes it up, gets the one he wants. He's like, okay, I like this, but I kind of want to look for games. Okay. No. He said well, can I see this other one? And I'm like, sure. So as I'm going into the back, he's like, you know what? Never mind. I'm like, oh my God.
He definitely tried to steal something from you.
No, dude, like, dude, I'm very cautious with that. Like, I said, like, dude, I'm not, like, I literally had my hand on the controller. Like, I did not want him to grab it. Not because I have trust issues, but it's just because I don't want, like, to be liable for someone stealing it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I've had that numerous times, like, people try to get on me. I'm like, no, ain't doing that crap.
I think Wentz will play week 1.
Like, to me, I just need confirmation because, like, I can't make an accurate prediction or make a prediction at all of Philadelphia because I
mean, seeing as though Phillip Rivers came back from it the next year and he came back earlier than Wentz did. You know?
That is true. Like, when did he tear his ACL? Like, in the playoffs, right?
In the divisional round of the playoffs. And he played with it injured in the AFC Championship game.
But to be fair, every player's different.
Yeah.
For all we know, like, Wentz is rehabbing just fine, and he comes back and he maybe just has to change his play style, but he's fine.
The Baker's playing.
Watch him throw an interception on his first.
And DJ's like, oh.
Just be like, he's a puss. Get him out of here.
Johnny Manziel 2.0.
I knew it.
I knew it.
I don't think Mayfield's gonna be like an elite QB, but he'll be fine. You know what I mean? Like,
and he gets tripped up.
In a
like
one.
J. Hill, knocked back. Maybe got himself a
let's see, how is Mayfield doing?
Oh, he hasn't done anything.
Kind of a hybrid safety line.
Oh, like, did he just get onto the football field?
Yeah, they had a 1-yard run loss.
Okay.
Job. It's kind of interesting, Scotty, because when you look at that will linebacker position, all three guys are former safeties. Nate Gary at Nebraska, Kamu J. Hill, and Asante Brown, the rookie from Western Michigan, who
threw right to the safety.
That position has become a hybrid.
But it was incomplete.
Third down.
Oh, that's like the worst kind of punt.
Catch is made, but well short of first down.
No. The punt was bad. It was just, oh my god. I'll let you see this because this is funny.
Holding on the offense, penalty decline, third down and 11.
Up there with a real good push by that Eagles.
Yeah, he almost threw an intercept. He threw the ball away.
Yeah, I know. Like, I was like, bruh.
He threw the no. I'm talking about Mayfield.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking. I was like, because I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about. Yeah, his first pass was incomplete. Then again, what was it? Johnny Manziel had a solid preseason, and then he sucks. But like, because it's like, I hate it when people be like with Dak Prescott, they're like, oh, he sucks because he only threw he didn't throw a touchdown in practice, which isn't true. I believe he threw a couple.
It isn't true.
Huh?
I knew that wasn't true. That's like the biggest BS. Every quarterback has thrown a touchdown in
and an interception. Like, they've at least done both. Like,
yeah.
And that's what irritates me, man. It's just like, because, you know, and it might be for other reasons, but the fact is, Dak doesn't deserve some of the. Like, if we're talking about his football play, yeah, you can say, like, yes, he needs to work on this, that, and the third. But, like, I hate it when, you know, people in my own fan base want to be like, oh, you know, call Cooper Rush, Mike White. It's like, yeah, it's like.
Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is, like, the greatest preseason quarterback ever.
I mean, so is Dak Prescott, but still.
Well, no, Cooper Rush was better, though.
Statistically, yeah. But, like, see, this is what I think the Cowboys are going to do. Like, if Cooper Rush has another solid preseason, and then, like, Mike White has a good preseason, they're going to trade one of them.
Waffles! Shuz.
Yeah, kill him.
Shut your face. Kelly would
I don't think that would work,
Kelly
but, like, that's an option.
Kelly would murder me.
No, like, I think they're gonna do, like, you know how, like, if you remember with, like, Aikman and Blair Walsh, not Blair Walsh, but you know what I mean, like, the quarterback. What was his name? Steve Walsh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he won a game
showed,
and Aikman didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, what's his name? The Giants' backup almost threw an interception.
What is it? Number 17 or is it the Webb?
No, yeah, Davis Webb, number 5.
I'll be honest, dude. Davis Webb, I think, is like
I feel so bad for him because he should have played at some point.
He should have instead of Geno Smith. Like you could have seen.
We know that Geno Smith is not the future of the New York Giants.
Exactly.
All on the network you just
what a play by Sudfeld and Goddard.
Bag tonight for Nate Sudfeld. Started off poorly. Threw an interception on a trap zone.
Trash.
And identified. Never made
So
that throw.
trash.
Like this.
You know, get him out of here. Put in Wentz. I don't care if he's on his freaking brace.
So he starts out 3 for 6.
Yeah, he doesn't have. He's not even wearing pads.
Would have made it 4 for 6 for some more yards, but
yeah, now all the backup offensive linemen are in.
That's what worries me about Wentz. Is just I feel like he's going to be in a situation where he feels like he needs to run, and then he's going to screw himself up. But I don't hope that. Absolutely not. But
trying to work his way through in what is a pretty big preseason for him. Taking over now in Pittsburgh territory.
That pass was
first down yardage inside the
right out in the. That was like a seam route.
It's just preseason. Don't take it too serious. No.
It's so serious.
Like the Cowboys blow out. Let's say they blow out the 49ers. Oh, it's preseason. You know, like we're dominating Super Bowl.
It's preseason, guys. Guys, it's preseason.
Guys, it's preseason.
Yeah, it's the obvious. It's if your team plays well and wins all their preseason games, like you're amazing. But if you do badly, it's just preseason.
I know. Like so either way, it's like
you're either the greatest ever or it's just preseason.
Okay, Sudfeld. Okay, I don't know what he was doing. Like he wanted to throw the ball. I'm happy he didn't throw the ball, but like it's like he hesitated to throw it, and then like he was like, oop, and then got
it's like yards. Honestly, if I was him, I would be taking my chances, you know, because what do you have to lose? You're the third string quarterback.
The only way you're like gonna get replaced is if you like extremely suck.
Is if you like explode on the field.
Yeah, like when you're as according to EDP, Joe Callahan needs to be the starting quarterback. Not playing. He said like he likes Joe Callahan over Sudfeld or whatever.
Wait, who said that?
EDP. So like say what I say with a grain of salt. Or take what I say.
EDP is like such an idiot. Like
I know. We're still complaining about how they like you guys win the Super Bowl, the greatest achievement of your franchise, and it's like a long history. I know you won championships before like
that.
You know, but still, and like he complains that you still didn't draft the player. That would be like if the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
Wait. He's still complaining?
Yes, like there was a post. Remember you said turn in your fan card. Like he complained about how like we still should have had Joe Mixon. It's like dude, that's like me complaining how we should have had Jalen Ramsey if we won a Super Bowl.
I thought he was joking there.
No, he's serious.
He got it.
Oh yeah, he got it. Yeah, it's a first down.
But he's such a moron. Like, here's the thing. There's two things in my mind about it. Okay. He's just joking. Okay. He's just trolling for views, which is like okay. But where's all that stuff about? Oh, you know, I always speak my mind. All of his fans are like, he always says what's on his mind. It's like Donald Trump when they're like, oh, he always speaks what's on his mind. It's like that doesn't mean he's always like right, you know. And then like they say that, which I think is hilarious, or which I know I've met the guy in real life. He doesn't really know that much about football or sports in general. Like I can't question the fact that he's a fan because he clearly is a fan, but he doesn't know anything about football. Like the game where Nick Foles threw 7 interceptions. I met him in the parking lot.
7 interceptions? You mean touchdowns?
I mean touchdowns. My bad.
Yeah,
7 touchdowns.
7 interceptions.
I met him in the parking lot, and he was like, and I was like, dude, if Nick Foles,
like I said, that was a good play.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, he made up for his drop, but like the thing is that he came out And like I was like, dude, if Nick or I saw him, I was like, if Nick Foles is not the starting quarterback of this team, then like this team like sucks on multiple levels. And he was like, man, you know, he's pretty good, I guess.
Who, Barkley?
No, Nick Foles.
Oh, okay, because I know he wanted Matt Barkley.
He wanted Matt Barkley, yeah. I said, he said, oh yeah, I guess Nick Foles, he played pretty good. I was like, dude, he threw 7 touchdowns. And he looked at me like, what? We were at the game, bro. Like, we were at the game. He sat like 10 seats to my right. Like, you didn't know that Nick Foles threw 7 touchdowns?
Dude, like, at the if he, like, let's say if that was Dak Prescott, for example, like, you know, in this situation, I'd look over, I'll be like, Jesus, he has 5 touchdowns? Like, even if he had 4, I'd be like, whoa, like.
The thing is, he could have had more touchdowns, but they pulled him out, like, midway through the third quarter.
He would have broke the record, I'll be honest. He would have broke the record if he got the chance.
Because I remember Peyton Manning, he had to play the whole game in order for him to break the record.
Yeah. Successful 2-point conversion, but
oh, they're going for it,
yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course they would. I mean, why not?
You gotta learn how to do a 2-point conversion.
I feel like you should go for it every time in preseason.
Oh, I agree. I mean, like, I would say, like, the only time you should kick extra points is when you feel like you need your like kickers need reps.
In the preseason, but that's what field goals is for, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, but that was the whole thing. I was like, hey, dude, Nick Foles threw 7 touchdowns, and he looked at me like what? Like what? Like he couldn't even believe what he had seen. He couldn't believe it. And I was like, it's obvious, bro. And
I want you to think about that. Like, dude, you know how much people would kill to have been at a historic game like that?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it was the best game I've ever been to.
Yeah, like, obviously, it's your favorite quarterback that went to your school that you went to.
And I've been to some pretty good games. But, like, the thing is, he doesn't know that much about football. And when I say stuff like that, most people are like, "Oh, he's definitely an Eagles fan. He's been there since day one." I'm like, "Yeah, I never said that he wasn't an Eagles fan." Okay? It's not that you're not allowed to criticize the team. It's not even that you're not allowed to hate the team. If you want to go out and hate the team when the team is playing well and the team is playing really good, you're allowed to do that. I never said that anyone wasn't allowed to do that. I'm someone who has greatly criticized the team when I thought that they were going to be bad. And, you know, I was right. But to say that the team, like, sucks when your team ends up winning the Super Bowl, to say the team, oh, you know, they're going to lose this week, to the Denver Broncos, like one of the worst teams at home on our whole schedule. And, like, I'm sorry, I have to question, like, the way you think. I'm not someone who says, hey, you know, you had to think that Nick Foles was gonna win every playoff game and he was gonna,
like, you don't have to think that.
To me, like, I'm like, okay, no, you don't have to think that. But when Carson Wentz was in, here was a guy who gave up at halftime of games, and I'm like,
I know what you're talking about too. So
and he did it twice, and this guy thinks that he can celebrate the Super Bowl when that's not, like, you don't just. It's like, let's say there's this girl who goes to your school and she's ugly and you treat her like crap and you throw stuff at her, and then the next year when the summer's over, she's, like, obviously, like, a lot prettier, and you decide, oh, you know, I'm going to ask her out. Sorry, you don't deserve to ask her out.
Exactly, like, that's how I would look at it.
What is this? I'm a Steelers fan, but honestly, the Eagles might repeat. The Rams will fail because of being the experience. Also, top defenses suck. The Jacksonville supposed #1 defense got scored 60 points. 2 playoffs.
Yeah, like, they allowed 42 points And then, but like the thing is,
but at the same time, that's the playoffs. I mean, the Eagles allowed 7 points against the Vikings, who had a pretty decent offense, and then they allowed
33
points against the Patriots, who were, I would say they're not that much better, but they are better. I mean, they don't have as many weapons on offense, but I mean, they just have Gronk basically and a bunch of white receivers.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I mean, I think Ricky and I agree that the Rams. I think the Rams have a lot of pressure to succeed because they are
the additions.
Yeah, because they are like the front runners to do well because of the players that they have on their team. Like, I don't trust like big free agency moves. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust them. I mean, because I'm an Eagles fan, obviously. Like Dream Team was like one of the worst things.
But even if you don't make, even if you don't make any moves, like you still have to be efficient. Like for example, like the Cowboys went bargain basement shopping in 2017, and it completely wrecked them. Like
I mean, they did go bargain bin shopping, but at the same time, they
got the most.
The Cowboys' issue was not the players that they had on the field. The issue with the Cowboys was their very poor, like, lack of heart mentality. Because when they lost all their players, they gave up.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like when the Eagles lost their players, it was like the next man up. When the Cowboys lost their players, they played scared. Oh, we don't have Tyron Smith, so we can't succeed. Dak is not going to be good. We lost Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, you know, our offense is going to suck. We lost Sean Lee. Our defense is going to allow like 10 more points per game average. It's like they had a lower than dinosaur bones mentality.
Yeah, to be honest though, like the whole thing about the Eagles repeating, I don't think they will. Because
no, I don't think
you know how hard it. Like, look, like for example, Seattle started off slow in 2014. Yes, they ended up going on winning the NFC, but the point still remains that like they were close to repeating. But it still goes to show you that it is still super difficult to repeat because you can have a fantastic regular season, storm into the Super Bowl after winning the previous Super Bowl, and then you can lose. Like with what is it?
Sidney Jones just got called for the new rule.
Yeah, I know.
And that was enforced the way it should have been because he hit him
exactly.
right in the helmet. That was enforced.
That's how I envision it. And trust me, Hank, I really think they're gonna hone in on that. Like, you know, like obviously a lot of people were complaining about the Hall of Fame game, but you got to understand it's the preseason. They typically call more penalties.
But that was called the way it should have been called. He hit him right in the at that point. He's a defenseless receiver.
That's clear cut there, Scott.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, the thing is, it's probably not going to affect us that much, but that's how it goes. I mean, that's called the exact way that it should be called.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can't wear my Eagles championship hat this fall at Texas A&M.
Yeah. Who cares? Wear it, like, dude. Just
I would say wear. I mean, here's the thing. I've been like, my fiance. She's a Cowboys fan, and you know, she doesn't really care. I mean, I wore my Eagles stuff at the Dallas airport, the Fort Worth, and the Love Field Airport. So,
like, yeah, I just find it funny because people like see, like, I'm a Cowboys fan that lives in South Jersey, so it's like of course, like people get on me, but it's like in all honesty, no one cares. Like you would be surprised. There are a lot more Cowboys fans where I live.
You might get a few people being like booing you, but that's it.
Yeah, like it's Sidney Jones.
What happened?
He's on. He's not hurt. It's just like he's taking a knee right now. No, not for the anthem.
Okay. I remember Texans fans last year said they were a good team by going undefeated.
Oh my God! Someone ran into his knee.
Oh shit!
Unless that was the angle looked like. Oh, he stepped wrong, and then like someone hit him in his knee.
Good for first down yardage to James Washington, rookie out of Oklahoma State. Down to the Eagles 24.
Eagles playing zone. Washington sits it down between Nate Gary and the nickel right there, Sidney Jones, who's gone to a
Dang it.
You never want to see that, man.
Look, is it his foot, and then is it his Achilles?
The Achilles was the injury that ultimately ended up.
Oh, yeah, you could just see it, like, in the replay. Like, he took a wrong footing.
Again, he was my #1
Baker Mayfield just scored a touchdown.
2 years ago.
Rushing or passing?
Let's hope there's nothing going on here.
Passing.
Okay, so it doesn't count because it means he's a bum. No, okay.
A little bit of a slip right there. And kind of flying.
It didn't look that bad.
Over Nate Garrett.
It didn't look bad, but, like, still, just because it doesn't look bad doesn't mean, like, it could have been so serious. Like, I've seen, like, oh, what a play by Dobbs. What is it? Is this Dobbs' second year?
Yeah.
29 snaps in the last game of the year.
Because I could definitely see he's improved, but, like, at the same time, it's just, like, I don't think he's the future. Like a lot of people thought he was going to be.
I think it looks like he's okay. It looks like he's okay. I would say just keep him out of the game. Keep him out of the game.
Yeah, at this point you can take him out. Like, I mean, he's shown enough. Like, he's
put him on ice right now.
Yeah, you never want to see people get injured.
No. Some Steelers fans don't realize without Ben, we don't win games unless our defense is. I mean, that's the really funny thing about the whole thing about what's his face Le'Veon Bell. Where like people are like, oh, he deserves to be paid $16 million a year, and it's like,
no, he doesn't.
Okay, like. You try that and you see what happens. I think the Steelers are smart not to even negotiate with that. That just seems like such a waste of funds.
I want you to think about this too, right? Like with Le'Veon Bell, like years, like okay, how do I word this? Like players change from year to year. Just because you dominate, like yes, you can project. Like okay, like me personally, I think Todd Gurley is going to have a good year in 2018, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean he's going to be as dominant as he was in the previous year? Maybe not. But my whole logic is just like look at Dez Bryant for example, right? Dez Bryant, a lot of people thought he was going to have a good year this year, or something of that kind. Well, guess what? He ended up falling off, and then he got cut, right? So, like, I tell people all the time, like, the league is a year-by-year basis, regardless of your position, right? Like, look at Cam Newton. Cam Newton goes from being an MVP to being, like, mediocre and then having an average season.
Who's the second best receiver or is it still debatable? Who is the best wide receiver in the league? Is it Antonio Brown or is it Odell Beckham?
Who's the best? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Talent-wise, I would say that Odell is, but right now I gotta go with
with either
I gotta go with AB. Because AB's proven. Odell got hurt, and and then again. Like I said, if Odell is given his chance and, like, he isn't... Like, that's my issue, you know what I mean? Like, with Odell, it's all, what's the word I'm looking for? It's, like, all potential. Not saying that he hasn't showcased it. But I think Odell has the potential to be the greatest wide receiver in the league, but right now it's easily AB. Easily. People might say it's Julio Jones. The issue with Julio Jones is that, he's again. I can't say that.
Who's the second best receiver on the Eagles? Okay.
Okay.
Either it's probably I'd say our second best receiver isn't even really a wide receiver. It's probably Zach Ertz.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Actually, Zach Ertz is probably our best receiver. Jeffrey is our second best. And then when it comes to like Aguilar is good, but he's only good in the slot. He's not a good outside receiver. So, yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, the Eagles are like you got Alshon Jeffrey who's solid. Then you have just like it's kind of like uniform after that. Like it's not like they're all bad, but it's not like there's like someone that's like oh they're amazing, around. Not to, like, knock at anybody, but, like, I just think that their next best guy, like you said, is a tight end in Zach Ertz. Or possibly Goddard. So.
Oh, yeah, that was a bad Yeah, they're gonna. This challenge is gonna.
I know.
This challenge is gonna. Yeah, because his foot went out of bounds beforehand. But I mean, again, like, you can't judge anything here because the starters aren't even playing. I'd say if you come out of like the first quarter with points or the first half with points, it's a good thing. I mean, it can't be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Unless that's that one season where Sam Bradford scored like 4 touchdowns against the Green Bay Packers in the first half. You know who's disappointing to me?
Who?
Really disappoints me?
Who?
Brett Hundley.
What of? Yeah. No, I agree.
I expected him at this point to not be on the Packers anymore. Because when he was drafted, I thought, he's going to get mentored by...
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron
freaking Rodgers.
I thought he was going to... Oh, but, like, of course, Aaron Rodgers doesn't mentor anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Just like how...
I thought he was going to be, like... I thought he was going to be at the position that Jacoby Brissett is currently in. Not being the future of the team, but more like being... like a guy they could trade for something. Like
this might sound stupid, but what do you think about Deshaun Kaiser? I know now he's on the Packers, but do you think, because he's really young, do you think he has a chance to succeed?
I thought that he had a chance to succeed last year. The issue with the Browns was not necessarily the fact that he was bad. It was because of the fact that they had at least 4 interceptions or maybe 5 interceptions early in the season that were like tip passes that went right into the receiver's hands that were dropped.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're going to have a defensive pass interference.
Yeah, that's okay.
No, but, like, from what I'm seeing so far, Joshua Dobbs has definitely improved. But just because I said he improved doesn't mean, like,
Philadelphia will not be charged with a timeout.
All right, so what's with the 4.5?
Was it a roughing the passer? Because I think it's roughing the passer because
it's half the distance to the goal.
All right, so it's trash.
Try to find James Washington. You got a flag on the play, and it came late by the quarterback.
I mean, I'd rather them have more red zone reps. The backups.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another touchdown.
More red zone reps is fine. But they scored a touchdown?
Yep, they ran it up the middle with number 33. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
These rookies have to learn this. Quarterbacks in the NFL are a protected species. When in doubt, you got to pull off. Ball's out. Now,
I don't think that was roughing the passer. He got pushed into it.
Years ago, that was nothing.
That's what I hate. Is just like when someone says it's roughing the passer. Like,
it's like, yeah, you roughed the passer, but you got pushed into him.
Steelers are first and goal once again inside the 3. Tucson.
Oh yeah, Tucson.
And they're going for 2, by the way.
That's smart. The Browns actually had a good run defense, but it choked.
And 2-point conversion successful.
Obviously, the Steelers get an opportunity to score a touchdown, and they do. Good blocking inside, makes you miss at the point of attack. But lost in all that, Scott, is that Rasul Douglas made a nice play. And that's what the coaches don't really care that much about the final score. Rasul Douglas, who did a bad job early on the long touchdown pass, did a nice job in the corner of the end zone on James Washington. So when you're evaluating the tape, you have Josh Sweat, bad job, but Rasul Douglas, really nice job.
Well, the Steelers now, up by 5, are going to go for 2 themselves. Dobbs working out of the shotgun. Tucson again. Looked like he could walk in. As it turns out, he does get in. Just over the goal line for the 2-point conversion. 2 big penalties on the drive. The last coming against rookie Josh Sweat, which kept the Steelers an opportunity to get from.
I expect Foles to play next week, though.
He will.
Yeah.
And then I expect Foles to play in the dress rehearsal game in week 3 as well. Would I be shocked if Wentz played? Maybe a bit, I'll be honest, but
Yeah, I'd be pretty shocked. I don't want Wentz to play in the preseason. I don't think he really needs it because the last time he got injured during the preseason, he he only played for one. He played for one half, and then he came back and played really well.
What's up? I just wore the thing.
If he's nowhere near decent, then they'll trade Bell for Khalil or trade him. Khalil Mack. Imagine that. He's on the Pittsburgh Steelers. That would be ridiculous.
Mack is not getting traded.
I know, it would be so dumb if they did that. But of course, John Gruden is lowballing everybody.
Sidney Jones comes out of the game, but he's just got a
Of
left
course,
edge.
but that's the thing, though. Is John. This is the issue. John Gruden, so far, his tenure, and again, I can't judge a book by its cover because honestly, I want to see how he coaches in this day and age compared to how he was years ago. But my issue with whatchamacallit, John Gruden, is the fact is he's made a lot of questionable offseason moves. And then, all of a sudden, I've been hearing reports how there's a possibility that Khalil Mack's on the trading block. It's dude, come on. You're right now, you're putting yourself in a risk where you're getting rid of, the best defensive player in the NFL, arguably. I said arguably, so don't, kill me, people.
Oh, how dare you say arguably?
No,
yeah, the Lions are in a weird spot. I don't think they're really that good head coaching-wise.
No.
The Lions.
Lions are always how they are. They're always mediocre. Yes, you'll get a good season out of them or two, but they aren't crazy. Let's see what's going on.
That's why we treat you and your money with
respect. I'm with the Browns. Let me see what's going on stats-wise for the Browns. Baker Mayfield so far. Well, Tyrod Taylor was perfect for a touchdown and a touchdown. Baker Mayfield is 3 of 7 for a touchdown. But then again, it's kind of
where they have to start from a static.
Yeah, dude, Davis Webb has he only completed 3 of his 11 passes. Yeah, I think that was a wasted third-round pick. And Sutfeld just threw another pick.
Wasted a pick because you didn't even get to see how good he was going to be.
Because, think about it, dude. If they felt Davis Webb, it was say, for example, he posted a stat line extremely similar, right, to, how it was in that game. Let's say he had, he completed only 30% of his passes and threw 2 interceptions and no touchdowns. Oh, I honest to God think that they would have taken a quarterback.
Carson Wentz. And you look at the matchup issues the teams are going to face.
Yeah, that was a bad throw by Sutfeld.
It's just bad because even though this draft class wasn't that good, this quarterback draft class, I mean, maybe the next one is bad.
That was dude, next draft class is not going to be good at all. The only good one is going to be intercepted right back.
Protected his quarterback here on the outside. Now you got to come back. Oop.
Yeah, that was not his fault. That was not Sudfeld's fault.
No, I know.
That was pass interference, or that was the receiver's fault.
Because they stopped, and then they literally Dobbs threw it right back to the Eagles.
But at the end of the day, here's the route at the bottom of the screen now. As he turns, he's running directly back to the quarterback. The quarterback throwing to the inside.
Yeah, that was so bad by Dobbs.
More of a dig route, inside cut.
Oh, let me see.
I'm not sure if you just saw. Dude, he should have thrown it not to that, but the receiver number 13, because receiver number 13 was gone.
Damn. Rasul
Douglas playing a little bit of center field. It takes it out to the 17-yard line.
Wait, he played baseball?
And they ran 2 verticals at him.
I don't know.
So
he
the
played at
key
West
is
Virginia.
depth. He's got to get depth because of the two verticals. He's got an inside. Here he is here. Watch him get depth because these two guys are going to come honking down on him. Two verts.
No, he was what he meant was he's playing center field.
Oh, okay. I thought he said he played a center field because the volume's very low on my TV. So
nice job staying deep on the deepest and driving on the shallow.
What time is it?
Okay. College in West Virginia to lead the nation. And he goes and gets it.
Yeah, probably after halftime, I'm just gonna head out.
Yeah, honestly, I'm probably gonna stop the stream too. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, you only really need to see, like, you don't need to do the full game. Like,
oh, no.
I tried live streaming games, but then I just felt like, you know, it's just, like, too much.
It was pointless.
Like, you feel...
But, I mean, I thank everyone who's been in here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We thank everyone for their questions. Hit the like button, subscribe, you know, self-promotion.
Has anyone hit the... How do I know who's hit the like button?
Nice blocking.
It should say. I could check real quick.
The Cardinals have talent, but underperformed an injury kill. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I had David Johnson on my fantasy team.
Oh, what a play by Sutfeld. That was a beautiful play. Man, he made up for that interception.
Well, that interception wasn't really his fault.
Well, no, yeah, but still, like, you're going to see it. It's pretty cool.
I love how we had a player on.
It's failed. It should move back to St. Louis. I'll be honest. They really didn't need to move back. I mean, they like if you told me which team should have gone to LA, I would have said the Raiders. The Raiders have the largest appeal.
Yeah.
But
well, like the Rams actually had like their fans like be like, we want to be back.
Yeah, and and I'll be honest though, like if you told me it was between the Rams and the Chargers, I would have said the Rams by a mile because the Chargers don't have any history in LA. The only history they have is one season. The Rams were there historically from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, so like, and not only that, St. Louis isn't a football town. Like that's the thing. They're a baseball / I don't want to say hockey town because their hockey team, you know. Wait, what happened?
That's a speed
what do you mean, what happened?
Right there, and the quarterback trusted his wideout.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it was I don't know what. They're gonna go for two because during the extra point there was like a false I don't know, a neutral zone. I don't know what happened.
Gibson averaged 23 yards per catch.
Big Ben looking like a coach on the sideline.
Second best
Big
in
Ben's
America.
like, you better.
The issue was never his speed. He
you better
The issue was whether or not his hands are natural.
hook up with college girls at
the
bars.
Same situation that happened the last time the Eagles tried an extra point. Got a penalty coming, and Doug Peterson's going to take it again.
Illegal formation, number 69 defense was lined up over the snap.
I've never heard an illegal formation called on a defense ever. Like that's the first time.
Oh no, illegal formation meaning you can't overload one side of the line.
No, I understand that. Like, and they didn't get it either way. But still, like you know, it's rare when you see that though.
Yeah.
I mean, Sutfeld.
That was a good pass. That was a good pass.
Yeah, like I think this is the thing. Like Sutfeld, I feel is like he's making the most of his opportunity for sure. Like. Just because he's probably guaranteed the third string spot, regardless if it's on the roster or practice squad.
Yeah, he'll make the roster just because of the fact that
someone's gonna take him.
It's and you don't know when Wentz is gonna play.
2-point conversion attempt. Smallwood can't quite get there.
That's Smallwood. I love how Donnell Pumphrey has not played yet.
82-yard drive, most of it coming right here on a
it's like they know that he sucks.
Catch against the Eagles.
Yeah, they're like, bro, we can't play this dude. This dude is a bum.
We know he's a scrub.
He's absolute trash. Get him out of here.
It's like that song. We don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy who can't get love from me.
Anyway. What time is it? Got plenty of time.
Yeah, we'll just watch the end of the first.
Yeah, and then we'll just die.
And I'll just shut it off just because there's no point. I mean, I'll watch the game. I'll finish the game, but it's nothing that I need to react to.
Because realistically, the first two halves are what you really watch.
So let's talk about the Chiefs for a second.
What about them?
Ambrisfer just said the Chiefs are a fake good team. And I kind of agree with that in a sense, just because I think this is going to be a huge rebuilding year for the Chiefs. I don't think they'll be as successful as they were last season, even though they were probably the most disappointing, outside of the Titans, they were probably the most disappointing good team last season.
I would say, look, if I'm a Chiefs fan, I would say be prepared to not make the playoffs, but at the same time, I'm optimistic. I would be optimistic because
I would say they have the best chance of being 8-8.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, look, you're now having your second-year quarterback who sat on the bench the whole year, relatively, and who knows what happens. I mean, look, eventually Kansas City was going to have to enter a rebuilding period, regardless of
Do you think they got rid of Alex Smith too prematurely?
No, because eventually you would have been in a situation where Alex Smith is going to look for a contract extension of some sorts because he's getting up there in age. So if I was them, it was the perfect opportunity.
This was the last year on his contract, right?
I think, but still, the point is you got something out of would have probably been nothing.
Yeah.
And you got to also understand that while Mahomes has a 5th-year option, he's a top. He was the 12th pick or the 10th pick in the draft, and you're gonna let him sit for another year or two. Okay, I can understand if it's a 3rd-round pick or a 4th-round pick. He's sitting for another year or two. That's understandable, but my issue is you need to just get a return on investment. I know people talk about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, he sat on the bench for 2 years or whatever. But it's but you also have to understand that Aaron Rodgers was put in a situation where he really shouldn't have been.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers really. What do you think would have happened if Aaron Rodgers was drafted by the Niners? Do you think he would have been?
He would have followed. He would have been, I think, better. But I would not have expected. He would not have be the quarterback he is today.
Because the thing is, when he was in the Packers, he had 2 different starts where he played like garbage. And then 2008 he was the starter, and he had good statistics, but the team was not good.
Yeah, hold up 1 sec.
So, Alex Smith is reliable, but he's not like Flacco, who shows up in playoff games when it matters. Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
What did he say?
He said that Alex Smith is he's a good player, but he's not like Joe Flacco, who shows up in the playoffs.
Yeah, to me, he reminds me a lot of honestly, Alex Smith is in his own category. You can't really put him in a specific category.
He kind of reminds me of Rex Grossman or something.
Yeah, he's better though. I think he's
definitely better than Rex Grossman. Carson Palmer.
Yeah, he's like Carson Palmer,
he's like a discount Carson Palmer.
Yeah, exactly. But like you were saying about sitting and learning, think about it. Tony Romo, undrafted free agent, had Bill Parcells, he had Sean Payton, he had all this knowledge. As he sounded if they said let's say they drafted Tony Romo in the 4th rounder, or let's put him in a Brady spot, the 6th round. And they're well, we think the 6th-round quarterback is going to be our starter. I think Romo would not be the guy he is today.
Yeah,
absolutely not. Because I think a lot of people misunderstand that, right? Dak Prescott, right? I think, lightning in a bottle. I'm not saying he sucks, but still, he obviously, if he had sat that year, I still think the Cowboys have a good year. But I think Dak Prescott has, he's more experienced.
Yeah.
And because Romo would have still been on the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Frank Gore, he's a good player. I remember when he came out, he was a freaking beast. Like,
oh my god, remember when people thought he was the best in the league?
Yeah, and Alex Smith didn't throw his first touchdown until week 16.
Yeah, and like, didn't he start the whole season too? Like,
yeah, he was no, he didn't start the whole season, but basically.
Yeah, but my whole thing is like, you can't see when people be like, well, if what's his face, if Aaron Rodgers was drafted by the Niners, then the Niners would have won a Super Bowl or two. It's like, that's incorrect, because you got to understand, you were talking about a completely different person. Like, for example, right, if you decided to get instead of being a teacher, you decided to be an electrician or an engineer, your personality is probably different, and the way you approach things is different, right?
Yeah.
The same thing applies to players. Like, just for example, like, if you told me Emmitt Smith originally was supposed to, if Emmitt Smith didn't get drafted by the Cowboys, he still would have been the league's leading rusher. No. Like, like I said, what was it? I even said that, like, with Johnny, I mean, some players are destined to fail. Some are good, like, you could see from a mile away. But either way, like for example, if Carson Wentz or Deshaun Watson was on the Browns, they aren't the same player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they're looked at completely differently, regardless of how you think of them now. Like, if Dak Prescott did the same, like, if Dak Prescott started, like, if this was his first year starting, people would have been like, "Oh, you're telling me that a 4th round pick is going to succeed, this dude, right?" And people would think you're crazy. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that I think a lot of people take franchise quarterbacks for granted nowadays. Like, with the Eagles, you're lucky to have a quarterback, like a quarterback situation where you have possibly 2 franchise quarterbacks. I mean, I still think, you know what I mean? And it's like with the Cowboys, like, you're lucky you have Dak Prescott. Look at the situation the Redskins are in.
Because you could have had nothing.
Exactly.
You could still be stuck with Kellen Moore.
Nah, I see it. No.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
Kellen Moore could have become your starter.
How the hell is that guy your quarterback's coach?
Nice job, young man.
But then again, like, just because someone sucks as a quarterback doesn't mean that. Like, for example, I never played football in my life, but I have more football knowledge than some analysts on TV. Then again, like, I don't want to act like I'm all that, but still.
They fired their coach who got them to 2 straight NFC Championship games. Yeah, they did. No, 3 straight. It was 3 straight NFC Championship games.
But you gotta understand, though, that had to deal with, like, it was just egos. Like, it was. I would say that's like the modern day version of like what Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson went through, except they didn't win anything. It's like the organization, like, more specifically, Jed York didn't like Harbaugh, and Harbaugh didn't like Jed York, so that's why they split. But if Jim Harbaugh was still coaching, are the 49ers the team they are? No. They're completely different. I don't think they're competitive as they are, like, winning 13 games, but
yeah.
Oh, what a play by Dobbs, man.
Did they score a touchdown?
Yeah, like, oh my god, that was a beautiful throw. Like, he threw it just right to him. Anyway,
nice.
I'm going to assume that's going to be the end of the half. So, from what I'm seeing here, Dobbs definitely has improved in some aspects, but he still has a lot to work on.
Yeah.
Sudfeld
played pretty well.
Sudfeld is, again, he's been improving. He's like same evaluation with Dobbs, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so I'm going to head out. Hank's probably going to close, or PR is going to close up the stream soon. So, yeah, guys, make sure to like one, subscribe. I don't know if we're going to do this for every single one. Probably not.
I probably want to do it for the next one at least.
Yeah, like, that's kind of how I look at it. So, all right, guys, I'm going to head out. So,
all right.
Yeet.
Yeah, I'm going to...
Yeah, peace.
Peace. All right, see you guys. Thank you for joining me and Ricky. Have a nice day.